And the Town and Country Planning Department continues to face the challenge of illegal development in the Virgin Islands. The department has implemented a monitoring team to ensure that developments are being done with approval by the Planning Department. Chief Physical Planner Gregory Adams, speaking on JTV Spotlight, said most of the time persons who carry out illegal developments are simply not aware of the basic physical planning requirements.
Unfortunately, one of the things that we have to deal with more often than I would care to express is the issue of illegal development. And many times when we contact people who find themselves, in an enforcement matter, they express to us they just didn't know what the requirements were. And so we feel that it's our job to enlighten them, make them more aware, to take away that part of the argument. And if we're successful in doing that, hopefully we could reduce the number of incidents we have as far as illegal or unauthorized development.
Applications for property development is approved by the Town and Country Planning Department. Adams said a monitoring team is now in place and is tasked with verifying that developments are being done in accordance with the approved plans.
Many times that is the case. They're good to go and we just monitor it and they're fine. As you've indicated, there are people who just, still will do what they're going to do. Yeah.
But what do we have? What consequences do we have to prevent that? So the public needs to know that there's some consequences to be suffered if you just go ahead and do what you want.
Ultimately, the way our law is set up, the law can require that your property is demolished at your cost. That's the ultimate.
I think we need penalty. To know. I think we need to know more about that.
Yeah. Before it gets to that step, there are fines of starting at $50,000 for a first-time offense, and it can go up to $100,000 for repeat offenders. That's what the law allows. But I think the thing that I'd like to say to people, to the general public, is that it goes a lot more deeper than that, because when we have to engage an illegal development with an enforcement proceeding, we copy this proceeding to land registry and a number of other agencies. And many times it's registered on the property. So if you were to go to the bank to try to do something with that property,
it'll show up.
There's a charge on the property, or at least a caution, saying that there's this matter that needs to be reviewed. And I think that's the thing that people who choose to disregard the law don't realize, that while it may seem that you're getting ahead in this instance, it could become a major inconvenience for you
later on down the road.
Yeah.
The chief physical planner said once you require heavy equipment to carry out any development, you would need approval from the Town and Country Planning Department. Last year, the department, using Geographic Information System or GIS tool, mapped all the buildings in the BVI. This allows the department to know where all buildings are located across the territory.
We have possibly, I would say, 95% plus of them mapped. So we can look at all the buildings and not only see the buildings, but as I said, we have information attached to them, information such as the kind of building material it's made of, what it's being used for, what the general condition of the building is. And so that information now we could use to do any number of studies that we need to do. And we also work with other agencies, land registry, survey department, water and sewage, public works, inland revenue. So there are a number of other departments that could benefit from having that kind of information available to them. We have so many different agencies, as I said, but also in the private sector, real estate agents, the utility companies, even delivery companies, FedEx, the like. There are many applications, or emergency services, so many applications, first responders. If you can have fire and rescue, ambulance, police, have access to this kind of tool, it cuts down the time that it takes for them to respond to different emergencies. Exactly.
Save
so
lives.
There's a whole range of benefits to be derived from it.
To give the public an opportunity to learn firsthand how the GIS tool or Smart Map works, the Planning Department will host an open house on Wednesday, November 18th at the Central Administration Building.
We're also trying to make it interactive and get people to be familiarize themselves with the tool involved. Hopefully students from some of the schools in the territory and just people from all walks of life to come by and see what the technology has to offer.
So you'll be able to come and look at the computer screen
Yes.
and pick out where your house is?
Exactly.
Seriously?
Yes, you can. And it's going to be real-time information, and I won't give away the real hook, but a lot of people are surprised by one aspect of what the tool can do when they actually zoom in on the building that is there, whether it's their home or their place of business. So
you need to come and find out.
Come and find out.
The proposed strategy for land use for the entire Virgin Islands, called the National Physical Development Plan, has been approved by Cabinet. The Town and Country Planning Department is now in the process of securing funding and preparing the terms of reference for the National Development Plan.